everybody. Welcome once again to International Championship Wrestling. I'm Bob Dow, and what an exciting hour in store for you this hour. Perhaps one of the most feared wrestlers in the entire world makes his debut today here on International Championship Wrestling. I'm talking about the Japanese frontier martial arts, Atsushi Onita. His debut here today on ICW. You'll also see in action the Hawaiian Hurricane. Big news in International Championship Wrestling. The Roadblock in a special handicap match takes on 4 opponents right here on this hour.
The dynamic duo back together again, and it's just escalated since then. Dudes, I've been hanging out on the beach. I know what it's like to smack my head against my board, smack my head against the rocks. That doesn't bother me. But what does bother me is when I get these 2 big fat dudes coming up and hold me down, double splash. You know, that takes the wind right out from there, and the boys back in Surf City say, ho, ho, ho. That didn't look too good. But what's going to happen now, Tony Rumble, is you're going to bring the Roseanne bars of professional wrestling, the Undertakers. I like to refer to them as the Overeaters, and we're going to go at it. But first, Tony Rumble, I want you. And today, right now, it's going to be me and you. Now, I know you have these Undertakers watching your back at all times. Coming from this way, coming from that way. They're all over the place. They're fat. But what I got here is a new friend. This here is Gidget. She goes with me everywhere. To the beach, down on the dates. We have a good time. And I'll tell you what, Gidget's a little harder than the Undertaker's head. And maybe she's a little harder than your head. Hang loose.
Hello, everybody. Bob Dow at ringside here from the beautiful Kutcher's Resort in the beautiful Catskills in New York. And you see a shot now of the big crowd on hand to take part in the action here on what an exciting hour we have. And proud to join me these first couple of matches working color commentary with us is Bill Apter. And Bill, pleasant to have you here compared to our usual Boston Bad Boy Tony Rumble and Paulie Dangerously we worked with the last couple of weeks. A real pleasure to have you here with us for this hour show.
Well, it's a real pleasure, and anytime I can sit in to offset the aggravated tones of Paulie Dangerously, it's an absolute pleasure.
And right now in the ring, you take a look at Chris Michaels, and also in the ring with him, the Japanese frontier martial arts champion of Japan. Our first look at him, at least my first look at him, Bill, and that is Atsushi Onita. But some big, I guess, press releases follow him from Japan as he's very big in the Orient.
Well, he's the current frontier martial arts champion, and he has some great credentials coming here to the ICW.
Atsushi Onita. We'll get correct with his name, but you see him now in the ring against Chris Michaels, and Atsushi right now talking to the gods or what he's doing up there.
Well, that is that mysterious green fog that is indigenous to many of the Japanese wrestlers in pro wrestling.
All right, well, we'll take a look at our first chance to see him in action here on the ICW, but coming up a lot of...
oh, my God, look, he just hit it with the fog.
And look at the green fog all over Chris Michaels now as he's down in the ground, and you see him in the mat. And I don't know exactly...
Wait a minute, I don't believe this. The referee saw him shoot the green fog. He's kicking him right now. The referee's standing there. What's going on here, Bob?
Well, I'll tell you what I don't understand is all the various loopholes that they allow you to have in a scenario like this.
Hey, let me tell you something. If I was the commissioner or the referee at the ICW here, I'd disqualify him immediately.
Well, obviously he comes out and with a green fog, as you call it, Bill, and obviously Michaels has got to be handicapped from the very beginning.
This has got to be one of the most vicious Japanese wrestlers I've ever seen. I've been around 22 years, and let me tell you something. The fog, the martial arts style with this man, this is incredible. Look at that savate kick, Bob. Another one.
Onita is a rugged out there, and as you see, he knows all the tricks and some that we have not seen, and Michaels definitely hasn't seen. And right now, Michaels in the corner down, and you can see sprayed with that green fog, and now look, it looks like he's biting his ear, Bill.
Let me tell you something, Bob. This man, Onita, just came from a big feud against Dick Murdoch in Japan. It's one of the biggest feuds going on in Korea and Japan at this time. and even Dirty Dick Murdoch had trouble with this guy. Look at that shot. My God, that resounded all the way throughout the arena here.
And, of course, Dick Murdoch, a big legend, of course, here in the United States, as you're well aware of, Bill. And, again, you see Onita going to work on Chris Michaels, and Michaels just really didn't know what hit him since that green fog started. Well, Michaels tries to fight back a little bit. A couple of shots to the midsection. Onita now trying to figure out exactly what's happening.
Well, let me tell you something. This man right now is showing credentials. You know, Michaels is on his bicycle right now, but don't underestimate this Onita. And let me tell you something. He's here for one purpose. He wants a shot at ICW heavyweight champion Tony Atlas.
Of course, there's no doubt about the fact that Onita came over here for that one purpose. And we have been told that should Onita get that match, we could be looking at a double title match down the road, too. We'll have more information on that later in this hour.
Bob, I hate to interrupt you, but look at the great showing that Chris Michaels is showing right now. This chin lock could be taking its toll on Onita. I mean, he's weakening him slowly but surely. Onita had the beginning of the match all wrapped up, it looked like, but Chris Michaels coming back. So there's not going to be any shot at Atlas unless he can get past Chris Michaels.
I think one of the things, Bill, as you made point on the fog, is that it didn't get Chris Michaels in the eye. Now, maybe impairing his respiration, his breathing system, but he can still see, and that's helping all that. Maybe now he can. Look at that. Oh, super kick. Unbelievable.
Unreal. A mistake by Chris Michaels. The experience of Onita. Look at this. Oh, my God. I've never seen anything like this.
What a powerball. 1, 2, 3 hits all over. Onita with a powerball in his debut here in International Championship Wrestling. This big crowd doesn't like him a lot, but Onita, I'll tell you, he is here, as you well put, Bill. He came over to the States for one purpose, and that's to take the gold back to Japan that Tony Atlas wears around him. And after watching his performance here, Michaels may not be Atlas, but I'll tell you, he will be a very strong force for Atlas to reckon with.
What an incredible showing in his debut here in the IWCCW.
Now, what's the sense of this right here? Now you see Michaels is out, he's down, he's already won the match, and Onita pounding on him. Unbelievable. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, coming up this hour, we have a super match coming up, and I'm talking about Ray Odyssey versus the Boston Bad Boy, Tony Rumble. Right now, let's take a look, and that's coming up this hour. Right now, we've got Phil Apollo. You remember on last week's ICW show, injured very badly. Well, he's back. Let's go to Phil Apollo right now.
Party's over, boys. Lethal Weapons, Paulie Dangerously. I hope you're sitting back, and I hope you're having yourself a real good laugh. I know I would. Got some bad news. The party's over when Fabulous Phil says it's over. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you were a big man, Paulie Dangerously. I had two guys on me holding my arms down while you hit me with the phone. Yeah. Okay, so I can't wrestle. For a little while. Got a little concussion. I'm no fool. One thing you didn't count on, man. I know what you thought. You thought, Phil Apollo, you're just going to turn tail and run. That's going to be the end of it. Wrong again, Paul. I got news for you. This business has taken me all over the world. I was a manager before you even thought about managing. I was in South Africa, and I found not one, but two individuals that can carry the load. Two people that I'm going to bring to the ICW with one purpose: for the ICW Tag Team Championship of the world, while I take care of you one-on-one. Come on in, boys. That's it, Paul. Sit on the edge of your seat, because I know you're watching. Sit right on the edge of that seat and take a look at the next Tag Team Champions of the world. I know what you're saying to yourself, Paul. You're saying, how did I get myself involved in something like this? It's too late to turn back time. You made your bed, and now you have to lay in it. Guys, I want them to hear you. Tell them exactly the way it's going down.
Well, brother, you see, the equalizers are here. We be the equalizers.
Hello, brother.
It's the see the kid, it's the leopard mask all over the land. We've been wrestling. We got the 3 aisles of wrestling. We got agile,
Hostile,
and mobile, and lethal weapons. We're coming here for you. Brother, we just can't wait to get in that ring and grab hold of them boys and teach them what real wrestling's all about.
Leopard mask, come on, baby. Like Brother Cheetah just said, we're here to do a mission, coming in here with the lethal weapons. When we're done with them, there'll be nothing but 2 little pop guns. Because we're here meaning business, and we're here on a mission. And we always follow through with a mission. You see, Paulie Dangerously, I was a great manager. I was the dirtiest, baddest guy that ever walked down the street. I walked down on Bad Street with the Freebirds before you ever even thought about getting into this business. So just remember, I know the score. I know what I have to do. I have to beat you at your own game. And I'm exactly the man to do it. And this is the tag team that's going to take the lethal weapons right down the tubes.
Plus $3.75 shipping to this address.
We take a look now at Bill Apter, and we're talking the Hawaiian Hurricane. And he came into the ring tonight carrying his usual pineapple, which we all know what that's about. But take a look at the Hawaiian Hurricane, who really feels in his mind he is the superstar, the only true superstar from the state of Hawaii. He'll be going against Conrad Phillips, by the way, as you see the other opponent in the ring.
As we know, he hurt Tom Brandy pretty severely in Toronto. And right now, he wants to prove he is superior not only to Conrad Phillips, but to Vic Steamboat, who's in the...
I don't think there's any question, Ed, at all, that Bill, that he came over here, and his whole objective is simply Victor Steamboat. I mean, he's left in no secret. Right now, Conrad Phillips is just a man in his way. Big, giant backer-baker.
What a giant backbreaker by the Hawaiian Hurricane. And now picking up Phillips, like Phillips is a rubber here.
The Hawaiian Hurricane knows his way around the ring. There's no doubt about that. And right now, Phillips on his back. Hurricane goes to the second rope. Looks like he's coming down with a big fist.
Oh, that Hawaiian fist drop.
Right into the midsection. Quick count. 1, 2. And Phillips able to kick out.
I thought he had him there, Bob. I really did.
I'll say, off that second rope with that big fist like that, you know Phillips felt it. Right now, the Hurricane throws him into the rope, throws him across the other side. They'll meet in the middle. Big clothesline, and Phillips down again.
Absolutely devastating. I don't know if Phillips is going to get up from this one unless the Hurricane picks him up.
Wrestling fans, if you can see just in the bottom part of your screen, you'll see the top of the pineapple that is carried everywhere the Hawaiian Hurricane goes. And now you see a little bit more of it as the Hawaiian Hurricane has Phillips now in a headlock right here directly in front of us. You can see the pressure being applied.
You know what's very interesting is the Hurricane wanted to team with Victor Steamboat, and he was turned down. Cold turned down, Bob.
Wow, I'll tell you, that's the things, of course, we read in all of your magazines, Bill, and of course, with the things that are happening around wrestling, but Steamboat, Hawaiian Hurricane, you know that is just a question of time. Just a matter of time.
They were going to be the Molokai Express. They had the name picked out and everything, and then the slap in the face. And a very hard one at that.
What happened? Bill, I mean, explain to me a little bit for some of the fans exactly what happened between Steamboat and this Hawaiian Hurricane.
Steamboat, obviously, as you can see how this man wrestles, didn't want to put up with his tactics. This man is a vicious rule breaker. Oh, he's not finished yet. He could have pinned him right there.
That's the kind of tactic you're talking about, I assume,
Absolutely.
Bill.
And as you know, Vic Steamboat is the consummate professional scientific wrestler.
And also wrestles by the rules, as everyone that watches knows. And right now, the Hawaiian Hurricane doing a job. Again, a big shot to the face of Conrad Phillips. Flips him across the ring into the other turnbuckle. Ooh, he hit him hard. Beats him back in the middle. And a neck breaker of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what kind of hold that was, Bill. But he kind of pushed his neck and vertebrae down into the mat, face first.
Unethical, but it worked.
Unethical, is to say the least. Now the big atomic knee drop. And another knee to the back. And there comes the cover. 1, 2,
Drove that
3.
knee
It's
right
all
into
over.
his neck. That's it. 3 count. Another impressive victory by the Hawaiian Hurricane.
The Hawaiian Hurricane victorious here against Conrad Phillips. And the smug look, arrogant look on his face. And again, a man that seemingly had it all. He could have went in with Victor Steamboat, a combination that would have been not only profitable for both of them, but a fan favorite. And now what's happening? Now we see, what's the story here? We see
Hey,
the
wait a
Hawaiian
minute.
Hurricane.
He's going for that pineapple. He's used that before, as we all know. Referee, get that out of his hands. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's he doing to... Oh, goodness.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
look
really?
at how
Come on.
he's forcing it down his throat.
This is professional wrestling. This shouldn't be happening here.
The Hawaiian Hurricane smashes the pineapple into an already out Conrad Phillips, and the mess all over Phillips, all over the ring. This is disgusting.
I'm outraged.
Disgusting. The Hawaiian Hurricane, not done yet. As you can see, the tactics of why Vic Steamboat didn't want anything to do with this man.
That's an absolute outrage, Bob.
Crazy, Bill. The Hawaiian Hurricane victorious here on the ICW. Turning out to be Sonny Blaze also in the ring, as there will be 4 of them going at one time. And the roadblock right now against all 4 of them. And again, he's stomping on the Russian flag. He has Blaze and Michaels. He knocks those 2 together. The roadblock has yet to be off his feet. Both the Russians out there now. One of the Russians just pounding away. It's like chopping a tree, doing nothing. One of the Russians hits the canvas. Now the other Russian, big clothesline, he's down. And the roadblock stands like Big Bad John in the middle of the ring. And he is just putting him down left and right. The roadblock now with both Russians. As you see the roadblock, and now they go into a little conference on the other side of the roadblock. Now they're going to try to surround him out there. Both Russians, Sonny Blaze and Chris Michaels. In a match that you can see the roadblock, you would think 4 against 1 he would be kind of handicapped. He is, that's how they call it, but he certainly isn't handicapped from a standpoint of being able to handle the crowd, as all 4 now on their back. And referee Billy Silverman just walks around and surveys the action. Now one of the Russians begging for mercy. Roadblock says, I'm here. And again, the big shoulder block does nothing at all to the roadblock. Now a big knee to the... There comes Sonny Blaze. He's knocked down. Here comes Michaels. Michaels is picked up. He's thrown down on top of Blaze. And the roadblock, just a giant of a man, 6'3", or 6'11", rather, 383 pounds. And ladies and gentlemen, it has been told by us through ICW, as you see the pounding having no effect. This man, the roadblock, next week gets a chance he's been waiting for a long time. The roadblock goes against the ICW heavyweight champion, Tony Atlas, for the title. And you'll see it next week right here on International Championship Wrestling. And boy, Atlas, I'm sure, has got to be watching this with awe as the roadblock taking 4 of them. Now 2 gone, works on the other 2 left. Blaze is gone. One of the Russians is gone. Michaels is gone. Now the other Russian picked up. And he looks like he's going to be thrown over. Now the roadblock now going up to his big move. Goes up onto the first rope. Gets ready. Down he comes. And the Russian. 1, 2, 3. It's all over. As you see the roadblock victorious in this special handicap match as he beats all 4 opponents. And again, ladies and gentlemen, next week the roadblock gets a chance for the ICW Championship of the World against Tony Atlas, the current ICW champion. What does Mr. Atlas have to think about that? Well, I'll tell you, we talked to Tony Atlas. As you see the roadblock discarding the waste in the ring, and the waste I mean by his opponents, he's taking care of all of them, and they are all out. But let's go now to hear what Tony Atlas thinks about his opponent, the roadblock.
You know one thing that make me sick to my stomach? And she's some big overgrown monkey thinking just because he went to the doctor and talked to the druggist and got himself pumped full of steroids, just because that he grew over 6 foot tall, over 300 pounds of baby fat. Here's a punk kid that haven't broken his first pair of bootstrings, and already he thinks that he should be in the ring with me. Already he thinks he's a wrestler. Already he got the big head. Ain't never drew a damn a day in his life. Ain't never been nowhere. Then he think he got the audacity to step in the ring with me. You wondering out there who I'm talking about. With all you pussy-neck geek, slot-nosed little brats, little 95 pushers, I'm talking about that roadblock. Roadblock, if you think for 1 minute you got something on me, you doing something that is very hard for a man of your vocabulary to do, and that's think. And then I got another little snot-nosed brat right around there, Tom Pritchett. He just made me want to vomit all over him. You ain't getting nothing, Tom. Only thing you're going to get is a good whooping. This is At talking. This is the man. This ain't one of them little old snot-nosed brats running around that you've been fighting in the past. This ain't none of these overgrown monkeys all pumped full of steroids. This is 16 years of experience talking to you, boy. So Tom Pritchett, roadblock, don't make no number man what you do. You never get the gold. This belong to me. You understand? This ain't Tyson. I ain't a chump like that little slot-nosed Tyson. He lost his belt. I still got mine. Going to continue to keep it. I would have took the belt if he had gave me the contract, and I'm going to take what is mine from here on out. But you girls wish you had a man like this.
I'm Larry. I'm Dave. We're identical punishment. And next week, Undertakers, we're coming for you.
Have you ever looked through a 9000 extension, The Wall? Wrestling fans, I'm with Tom, Mr. Chippendale Brandy. Mr. Brandy, of course, injured in a match in Toronto with a Hawaiian Hurricane. With me and Mr. Brandy, your new protege, GQ Madison.
That's right, Bob. The wrestling fans of the ICW know who I am. And for whoever doesn't know what happened to me, they know the Hawaiian Hurricane. They know. Toronto, baby. He knocked me out. 6 months it's been. So what did I do? I couldn't get you back. But I got my man. I got my man, GQ Madison. I took him under my wing. He's going to take care of some business for me. Tell him, GQ.
Hey, next week, Hawaiian Hurricane, your keister is mine.
Wrestling fans, as you see with me now, Victor Steamboat, former half of the SNS Express, the half of the new dynamic duo. Victor, I guess the big question to ask this week on ICW, we see the Hawaiian Hurricane, who also, you being from the island, makes his way into the ICW. No secret, he's making it known to Bill Apter, to wrestling news throughout the world, that you two at one time were going to be partners. Now he just kind of seems to hate you, quite honestly, Vic. You and him don't seem to be getting along too well.
Well, for one thing, our families have never seen eye to eye. But the Hawaiian Hurricane, a few months ago, I came up to him and approached him to be a tag team partner because of what happened to Joe and the way things been going with Phil and I. You know, I was looking for a homeboy. Hawaiian Hurricane, you came out here and talking big words. You're going to beat this, beat that, and put people out of wrestling. Well, let me tell you, son, you have no reason to call you a true Hawaiian, because there's no Hawaiian around.
Victor Steamboat, ladies and gentlemen, off camera, you see the Hawaiian Hurricane making his way into our interview here for absolutely no reason. And I'm not sure what this is all about.
Let me say one thing, Steamboat. You had a chance to team with me to be the best tag team in the world, but you turned it down.
I think it's the other way around. You couldn't face up to the fact how all these years my side of the family has always been on top. And why can't you ever face that?
You know, you see this right here? I don't need this. I don't need these people. I got wrestling talent. But there's one thing. Tonight, right here on the Danger Zone, is a man that thinks he can outsmart Paul E. Dangerously by bringing in the greatest tag team high flyers in the history of the ICW, the Cheetah Kid and Leopard Mask. My guest this week is the fabulous Bill Apollo. Bill Apollo, who loves all the women of the state of New York. Bill Apollo, who thinks he's going to defend the honor of the great Catskills, of Catchers, of the Cheetah Kid and Leopard Mask. Come on in. I have a few things to say to you. This week on the Danger Zone, my guest is Bill Apollo. I'm doing this Danger Zone so that you and I can settle the differences. I retired Danger Zone because I don't need to be on shows anymore. I'm the highest rated guy in wrestling. You've got a problem with me. Why don't you air it?
Yeah, I got a few problems. Number one, I'm sick and tired of you walking around here like you walk on water, mister, because you don't. You know, you're complaining now that I brought in, yeah, you said it right, the greatest tag team in the history of the ICW.
The Cheetah Kid and Leopard Mask.
Exactly right.
The highest flyingest team in the world.
With me in their corner as their manager, because don't forget, mister, I was managing with Gary Hart long before you ever even thought about it.
You're going to be a manager now. You're going back to managing. A 230-pound manager. You're killing my stereotype. You want to come out here and be a real big star because you're trying to make a reputation of the genius of Paulie Dangerously. The fact of the matter is, you were Gary Hart's stooge. What I was the head of the Dangerous Alliance.
You got the whole thing backwards, mister. I walked down Bad Street with the Freebirds. I guided them to many, many victories.
In Texas.
In Texas.
This ain't Texas.
It doesn't matter where it is, mister. Me and you, let's face it, we just don't like each other. There's only room for one at the top. And when all that smoke clears, fabulous Bill Apollo is going to be on top of that mountain looking down on you.
You're going to look down on me? I say you're not.
Squeaking 4-4.
Bob Dow back with Bill Apter. And boy, I'll tell you, after that danger zone with Paulie Dangerously and Phil Apollo and the Cheetah Kid and Leopard Mask and, I don't know, the Lethal Weapons, I don't know what the ICW is becoming, Bill. This is getting nuts around here.
Isn't it amazing, just due to his last name, or who knows what it is, but danger follows that man around, Paulie Dangerously, wherever he appears.
Unbelievable. Right now, Bill, one of the matches that I know I've been waiting a long time to see. You see in the ring, surfer boy Ray Odyssey from Surf City, USA. And now the time to put up with Mr. Tony Rumble and the Boston Bad Boy. These two have had bad blood between them for a long time. The match was fun. And what's this? All of a sudden, here comes the Boston Bad Boy with the neck brace. And he's got T.T. Crunchkey with him.
Wait a minute. Was he wearing that neck brace in the dressing room
No, he
about an hour
wasn't.
ago? I didn't think so either.
He has a match scheduled against Ray Odyssey. The contract was signed. He comes out with the neck brace on, and I'm kind of confused a little bit. I don't understand what's going on. And right now, we've got to get the Boston Bad Boy involved. He's going over, it looks like, to the ring announcer, Bill, to grab the microphone. Maybe he can explain to us and the fans exactly what he's doing in the neck brace that wasn't there 5 minutes ago.
Shut up when someone from the City of Champions is in your presence. Now listen. I hurt my neck. Hey, I hurt my neck earlier today helping some little goofy old lady up here in the pine. Whatever Catskill. I hate this place, okay? I helped some stupid lady, and I hurt my neck. I can't even move my neck one little bit. I can't move this neck at all. So what I did, honestly, is I went out and I got the Brotherhood. And right here is the first glimpse of all you nitwits. Yeah, and I'm talking about you. This is the first chance for you people to see the Brotherhood and what it's about. When one of us is down, someone else comes in to help him. And I'm going to introduce you right now to the monster of the midway. 6'7", 366 pounds of my friend, T.T. Crutchkey, the monster of the midway.
This is unbelievable, Bill. As the Boston Bad Boy, Tony Rumble, in his scheduled match with Odyssey, he did all the popping off. You saw the slap in the Rumble seat about a month ago. Now let's listen to Odyssey.
I signed to face you. I don't want this T.T. Fatsky, whatever you call him. So get in here if you're any kind of man. You know something? I don't think you're a bad boy at all. I think you're a bad dude.
Watch your back.
And that's exactly what happened is Ray Odyssey. And boy, this is like David and Goliath, Bill. There's no question as you look in the ring, Odyssey's got the biggest heart in the world.
There he goes using a slingshot on him right now, just like David did with Goliath. A splash right into the corner by Ray Odyssey.
He's got all the adrenaline and all the heart, Bill, but does he have the size to go against a man the size of T.T. Crunchkey when he's supposed to be facing Tony Rumble? But right now, Odyssey's got Crunchkey out of the ring.
Well, you know that Ray Odyssey has got the heart, and when you have that heart, sometimes you can turn that adrenaline into physical motion, and that's just what he did with Crunchkey.
I'll tell you, this feud goes back a long ways back to when Mr. Odyssey got the dynamic duo back together, the Undertakers. Now you find a Rumble. This is just an amazing feud that's gone on, and now Rumble has backed out of this. I can't believe, of course, Rumble, my broadcast partner on a lot of matches. He's just, to me, he's chickened out. That neck brace, obviously a fake. He didn't have it on 10 minutes before we started tonight in the dressing room.
I never thought I'd see the day that Tony Rumble, who's a big, boasting speaker, would come over and do something like this.
And you're being polite by saying just a big boasting speaker, Bill.
I'm trying to watch my P's and Q's, but he came over to me so politely in the dressing room, etc., and said, Mr. Apter, wait until you see my match against Odyssey tonight. I'm going to beat him. No question about it in his mind. And now to pull something like this with neck brace, please.
Unbelievable. And T.T. Crunchkey is replacement in the ring right now. And again, Crunchkey about twice the size as you can very obviously see over Ray Odyssey. But Odyssey with a heart as big as gold and a size differential that doesn't seem to scare him. And he right now is handling his own against this replacement for the Boston Bad Boy and T.T. Crunchkey. Odyssey up now looks to put the fist to him, ask the crowd for approval. They give it to him, and you hear the count.
Repeatedly punching Crutchkey in the head And it looks like the man could be out of it right now. And the Boston Bad Boy doesn't know what to do. This game plan's not working right now. But again, Krunchke reversed it right into the turnbuckle.
Odyssey face first into that turnbuckle, and now Krunchke goes into a little fit. And now the Boston Bad Boy, Tony Rumble, kind of likes it a little bit more as the big kick to the head. Now another kick to the head. And look at Rumble on the outside giving the surf impressions.
I'll tell you something.
Sick person.
His neck doesn't look too hurt right now.
No, it certainly doesn't. He has his jaw works very well. He seems to be able to get all the animation involved. He just didn't have the guts, let's face it, to step in that squared circle against Ray Odyssey.
Well, the jaw of Ray Odyssey not feeling too good right now after this giant behemoth just stomping on him and using clotheslines and elbow smashes. Ray Odyssey could be out.
Slapping in the face of T.T. Krunchke. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to take a quick commercial break. We promise you if there's a pin or submission, you won't miss a thing. We'll be right back.
The ICW. It's the hottest promotion of the 1990s.
Ladies and gentlemen, you haven't missed any submission or pins or anything. What you have seen now, or what you do see now, as Ray Odyssey has been tossed out of the ring by T.T. Krunchke, and all of a sudden the Boston Bad Boy, Tony Rumble, appears to be a lot more physically in shape to be able to wrestle when Odyssey is on his back and down, Bill.
This recovery could go down in medical history as being the fastest recovery ever from a neck injury.
Unbelievable. And T.T. Krunchke right now in the ring put serious pain on Ray Odyssey, who looks like he's out and down right now.
Nobody gets up from that leg drop.
Odyssey trying to pull himself together, but I'll tell you, when you take a man the size of Krunchke, you've got to be pushing 400 pounds. Dropping on Ray Odyssey, who's got to go maybe 200 tops. Hey, he's double his size, and, we all want that David and Goliath story to come true, and it can, but in this case, it doesn't look like it's going to. And right now you get the big crowd, and they are on Tony Rumble outside the ring. And I mean big time on him outside. And Rumble not liking it too much. Inside the ring, Odyssey trying to fight back against Krunchke. And there you see Rumble having all kinds of problems with a big crowd on his hand here at Country's Resort in the Catskills here in New York.
Odyssey with a desperate comeback attempt, but again, futile as the big man smashes him. Oh, my goodness. All that power, all those 366 pounds just coming down on Ray Odyssey.
And now, look, we have an obvious chokehold going on the other side. And why a man at 400 pounds fighting a man the size of Odyssey? Why Krunchke would resort to the tactics of choking? Obviously, that's why he's a good friend of Tony Rumble. Two peas in a pod, I guess you might say. Now he rakes the eyes across that top rope.
I don't know if anyone would say it's a feather in their cap to be a friend of Tony Rumble.
No, I would agree very wholeheartedly with you, Bill, on that one. Ray Odyssey right now outside the ring, and now look at Rumble outside mocking him with his surfing exploits. And Rumble outside the ring, and as you can see, just taunting Ray Odyssey. He can taunt him, and now he goes after him, grabs him by the hair, then throws him back in the ring. For a man that has such a serious neck injury, he obviously performs a lot better and feels a lot better when Odyssey's on his back outside the ring.
Absolutely.
It's a shame that Rumble didn't have the guts to get in the ring with this young man here today. Now Odyssey comes back to the flying. He tried a body crack, but it wouldn't work, as Krunchke just picked him up and dropped him down over that big knee. And Odyssey again on his back on the canvas, and Bill, it appears to me he's in some serious pain right now.
I don't know how much more pain Ray Odyssey can endure at this point, Bob.
He is taking a lot of it, not only from Krunchke inside the ring as the backbreaker comes down, and that'll move a few years. He now smashes him down to the canvas again.
Good night.
Odyssey just about out of it right now. And here comes Tony Rumble over here, the gutless wonder who doesn't dare get in the ring with anybody. Coming over to yell at us. That obviously seems to be Mr. Rumble's biggest talent.
Well,
his mouth off a lot.
There's good reason for him to come after us. We're about, 185 pounds apiece, about 5'8", 5'9".
I'm not sure he'd have the guts to go to either one of us, Bill, after seeing what happens here with Odyssey. As he's got his man Krunchke, and Odyssey, to his credit, is holding his own as a big shot to the midsection of Krunchke. And Krunchke, who is a huge man, as you can visually see, compared to Odyssey. And Odyssey just fighting with everything inside him, not giving any inch, not asking any drop kick, but Krunchke pulls back out of it. Semi-pulls out of it, but he's hurt. Now there's a flying clothesline, and Krunchke looks like he's a little wobbled. His knees are shaking a little bit. Odyssey goes up to the second rope, looks to go higher. Kunchke comes over. Here comes Odyssey. Nice spectacular. And Kunchke's on his back. And this is unbelievable. Ray Odyssey may pull the upset of the year right here. What an upset this would be.
It's incredible because I thought Odyssey had it. And now the amazing recuperative powers of Ray Odyssey showing itself in its best form. But again, the big man, wait.
Look at the move by Odyssey.
What a fantastic maneuver.
Odyssey trying to get
on his back.
Now he's got him in the sleeper hold, ladies and gentlemen. This is what has made Ray Odyssey victorious so many times. Ray Odyssey with T.T. Kunchke in the sleeper hold. And watch this. Here comes Rumble. Rumble takes off his neck brace. Odyssey lays it into the middle of it. Odyssey flips him into the deck, crossed into the ring. And Odyssey has got the sleeper hold on Rumble. He's got the sleeper on Rumble. Look at this. Odyssey has got the sleeper hold on Rumble, and Rumble is out of it.
Wait a minute.
And what's coming down here? Here's the Undertaker.
No.
My God, no.
This could be a 4-on-1 situation.
For Ray
Get
Odyssey.
somebody in here. Get another referee in
Ray
here. Get another
Odyssey having
wrestler
to
in
take on
here.
T.T. Kunchke. Then the Boston Bad Boy Tony Rumble. And now, look at this as the Undertakers are in the ring. And Ray Odyssey, my God, they're not looking to just hurt him. These guys are looking to actually kill this young man.
I wish I was a professional wrestler so I could get in there and help this man. Look what they're doing to him.
The referee has been knocked out of the ring, and now look at
deplorable. Look at him. Look at Rumble going up.
Rumble comes up, down, and calls the neck breaker, and Odyssey is out right now. I don't know if his step has been stacked or not, but he is out. And now look at these two brutal giants as Rumble and Kunchke spread Odyssey like a chicken wing in a big splash for the Undertaker. My God,
Odyssey looking like prime meat for the Undertakers here. I mean that literally.
This is sickening. Rumble, who has not have the guts to face him on his own, brings out his Undertaker, T.T. Kunchke, and ladies and gentlemen, Ray Odyssey in the ring right now. We're not even sure if he's breathing. This is sickening. And my God, for poor Ray Odyssey, the neck brace goes down around him, as you see. And ladies and gentlemen, a sickening development. We'll talk more about it on next week's show here on the ICW. Bill, that's all the time we have for this.
I'm concerned. Let's get somebody out here to help this man.
This is just sad. As you see Ray Odyssey on the canvas, he has Rumble's fake neck brace around his neck. And you see the gruesome twosome, the Undertaker, managed by, of course, the Boston Bad Boy Tony Rumble. And some serious help is needed right now for Ray Odyssey, who's in some serious trouble out there.
Absolutely.
And Bill, again, we're running out of time for this hour. I want to thank you so very much for joining us this hour. Want to plug again your Wrestling Illustrated, your Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I'm sure that fans can find these. I know you see them on newsstands across the country. And the great work that you and your staff do is just tremendous reading on a weekly basis.
Well, thank you. We have Pro Wrestling Illustrated Weekly and our monthly magazines. And here comes Tony Rumble.
Tony Rumble comes over now to see Bill Afters. We're discussing his magazines here. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time for
Tony
this week.
Rumble.
As Tony Rumble comes over, that's all I want to see in this man. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed this hour. We'll be back next week with another hour of the best in International Championship Wrestling.
What's the matter with you?
Everybody.
You see what you did to that man?
Is looking for a fundraising, money-raising promotion, then call ICW, the hottest promotion available for the 1990s. The ICW features wrestling superstars like former Mr. USA Tony Atlas, The Undertakers, the dynamic duo, the Master of the Ninja, Mr. Pogo, Rick Steamboat, Cowboy Bob Orton, and many, many more. If you want action, excitement, and a full house, don't delay.
Call or write the ICW today. Write ICW, Post Office Box 6314, Parsippany, New Jersey, 07054. That's ICW, Post Office Box 6314, Parsippany, New Jersey, 07054. Or call 201-887-2698. That's 201-887-2698. The ICW. It's the hottest promotion of the 1990s.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we told you, coming up later this hour, the title event, the title match between the ICW champion Tony Atlas and Roadblock. But Tony Atlas, should he be capable of maintaining and keeping himself,
Don't be popping
if he can keep it. There's some big news in the ICW, and of course, that is the appearance now of International Championship Wrestling, also going all over the country. The Japanese champion, Atsushi
That would be all over
Onita.
the world. All over the country would be where we are now. All over the world is Japan.
Okay, thank
you. want
you
to talk
for
about the Orient? Well, geography, you know. Okay.
Atsushi Onita here in the ICW. He is the heavyweight champion of Japan.
He's now?
And if Mr. Atlas is able to sustain his championship today against Roadblock, the match has been signed that next week, Atsushi Onita
I guarantee
will take on Tony Atlas.
I'll bet you Atlas fights Onita.
It'll be a battle of the
And
champions.
you know what's good about that is ain't nobody going to like either one of them. See, that's the type of fight I want. Just two guys fighting. I don't care if you like them. I don't care if they like them. I don't care if I like them. I just want to see a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like you.
Like a fight, yeah, right.
That
like
nobody
like
likes.
me.
That
Right.
nobody
And
likes.
let's get one thing straight about this Onita. You know, he's got the will, they say, right? But my neighborhood, Dal, where there's a will, there's usually a funeral.
Let's check out Atsushi Onita right now in action 1 week ago against Chris Michaels. Watch this
Correct
man
with
in
his
action.
team, but you see him now in the ring against Chris Michaels. And Atsushi right now talking to the gods of what he's doing up there.
Well, that is that mysterious green fog that is indigenous to many of the Japanese wrestlers in pro wrestling.
All right, well, we'll take a look at our first chance to see him in action here on the ICW, but coming up a lot of...
Oh, my God, look, he just hit it with the fog.
And look at the green fog all over Chris Michaels now as he's down in the ground and you see him in the mat. And I don't know exactly...
Wait a minute, I don't believe this. The referee saw him shoot the green fog. He's kicking him right now. The referee's standing there. What's going on here, Bob?
Well, I'll tell you what I don't understand is all the various loopholes that they allow you to have in a scenario like this.
Hey, let me tell you something. If I was the commissioner or the referee at the ICW here, I'd disqualify him immediately.
Well, obviously he comes out and with a green fog, as you call it, Bill.
Wrestling fans, the ICW goes on tour the month of March at Farrell Hall, State University in New York, Friday night, March 30th at 7:30 p.m. All the ICW superstars you see each and every week will be at Farrell Hall, State University in New York, Friday night, March 30th at 7:30 p.m. And then on Saturday night, March 31st at 6 p.m. at Bay Path Regional High School in Charlton, Massachusetts. Again, Saturday night, March 31st, 6 p.m., Bay Path Regional High School, Charlton, Massachusetts. It's a big superstar show with the ICW. Friday night, March 30th, 7:30, Farrell Hall, State University, New York. And then Saturday night, March 31st, 6 p.m., Bay Path Regional High School. Come on out and see the ICW superstars in person.
Legend, of course, here in the United States, as you're well aware of, Bill. And again, you see Onita going to work on Chris Michaels, and Michaels just really didn't know what hit him since that green fog started. Well, Michaels tries to fight back a little bit. A couple of shots to the midsection. Onita now trying to figure out exactly what's happening.
Well, let me tell you something. This man right now is showing credentials. You know, Michaels is on his bicycle right now, but don't underestimate this Onita. And let me tell you something. He's here for one purpose. He wants a shot at ICW heavyweight champion Tony Atlas.
But there's no doubt about the fact that Onita came over here for that one purpose. And we have been told that should Onita get that match, we could be looking at a double title match down the road, too. We'll have more information on that later in this hour.
Bob, I hate to interrupt you, but look at the great showing that Chris Michaels is showing right now. This chin lock could be taking its toll on Onita. I mean, he's weakening him slowly but surely. Onita had the beginning of the match all wrapped up, it looked like, but Chris Michaels coming back. So there's not going to be any shot at Atlas unless he can get past Chris Michaels.
I think one of the things, Bill, as you made point on the fog, is that it didn't get Chris Michaels in the eye. Now, maybe impairing his respiration, his breathing system, but he can still see, and it's helping. Oh, that maybe now he can. Look at that. Oh, super kick. Unbelievable.
Unreal. A mistake by Chris Michaels. The experience of Onita. Look at this. Oh, my God, I've never seen anything like this.
What a powerball. 1, 2, 3, he's all over it. Oneida with a powerball in his debut here in International Championship Wrestling. This big crowd doesn't like him a lot, but Oneida, I'll tell you, he is here, as you well put, Bill. He came over to the States for one purpose, and that's to take the gold back to Japan that Tony Atlas wears around him. And after watching his performance here, Michael's not may not be Atlas, but I'll tell you, he will be a very strong force for Atlas to reckon with.
What an incredible showing in his debut here in the IWCW.
Now, what's the sense of this right here? Now you see Michaels is out, he's down, he's already won the match, and Oneida pounding on him.
There will never be another Berlin Wall. Department I, Los Angeles, California.
Part of the big news here in the ICW, well, it's a nice hat from Boston. There's no question. Nice hat,
down.
obviously with yours. One of the big news in the ICW, ever since Phil Apollo was injured in a studio accident about 3 or 4 weeks ago now with Paulie Dangerously and the Lethal Weapon, is that fabulous Phil Apollo has now gone, that's a fact, now has gone into managing. And as you saw last week, he's picked up the contract of the Cheetah Kid and the Leopard Mask. And coming up now in this segment, Mr. Rumble.
I hate cats. Let's get that straight now. I hate cats. Rats are cool. I've said before, rats are cool. Cats, I don't like them.
Well, anyway, Mr. Apollo has now got one half of his tag team combination, and that being the Cheetah Kid and the Leopard Mask. And between the two of them, one of them is going to take on Doug Gilbert in this segment right now, as a matter of fact. And I'm talking about...
Yeah. Hey, this is going to be a great one.
Cheetah Kid and Doug Gilbert, one half of
tag team champ.
That's right,
I got the
Lethal
Cheetah
Weapon.
Kid.
Let's find out what Mr. Apollo and the Cheetah Kid thought about their upcoming match with Doug Gilbert.
Oh.
Hey, fabulous Phil Apollo, along with the Cheetah Kid, and this hour. I want to talk about this hour. This is our one-on-one, man. This is where we get to prove to the whole world that we're just as good one-on-one as we are in tag team action. Oh, yeah, the whole world saw us beat you, man. No secret. We beat you fair and square. Just like I said we would. Okay? Now you want us to prove one-on-one that we're superior. Well, we're up to the task. Cheetah Mask.
Gilbert, I tell you, brother, you got the most agile wrestler, the most acrobatic wrestler ever walked on the face of the earth. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's... Well, maybe I'm not Superman, because there's one thing different about me. Gilbert, kryptonite don't bother me, baby. And you're next.
You see, Doug Gilbert, the bottom line is, you're living up the reputation of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And now it's time for you to get in the ring and prove yourself, boy. So far, you haven't done a great job as far as I'm concerned. You never beat the Dynamic Duo once. You never beat Phil Apollo and Vic Steamboat once. You didn't beat Leopard Mask and the Cheetah Kid. What makes you think you're going to be able to handle this boy one-on-one? You're never even going to see him, man, because this guy's like greased lightning. It's all over. You're finished. You're going down.
Let's fly away.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Dow along with the Boston Bad Boy, Tony Rumble. Now, the one and only... we know what you are after your match with Mr. Odyssey last week.
Part of the Brotherhood. You wanted to know what it was, and I showed you up close and personal, Sal.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring right now, you see the infamous Paul E. Dangerously.
You see the tag team champions of the world.
Along with his tag team champions, the Lethal Weapon.
You don't even know them, and if you did, they still wouldn't like you.
I don't want to know them, to be honest with you.
Paul E. Dangerously.
That's what I said.
Manager of Champ B now, and that's the Hitman. Eddie Gilbert's younger brother, the Hitman Fred Gilbert, and Dennis Overboard Padre from Lethal Weapon.
Well, there's no doubt about it.
International champion.
Oh, I think that we have figured that out many times. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not scheduled, to my knowledge, to be a tag team match. This is scheduled to be Doug Gilbert against the Cheetah Kid. And you see Phil Apollo who is managing the Cheetah Kid, as well as his partner Leopard Mask. And this is going to be a singles match.
If they had a referee, maybe they can hear us in the background.
Well, I don't know where our referee is. We'll have to see. Maybe, Mr. Rumble, you can go out and find us one as we find out I can't tell what's going on. We find Mr. Rumble going out back. Right now, this could break out into be a war awfully quick, too, as you got Phil Apollo out in the front with his man, of course, the Cheetah Kid. And again, Phil Apollo was hurt a couple of weeks ago here on International Championship Wrestling, and not hurt in the ring, I might add. He was hurt when he was cracked over the head by the Lethal Weapon during some interviews. in the studio. And now Filippo, who is not, he suffered a concussion and he's not back ready to wrestle yet, but he does have a new tag team calling about the Cheetah Kid and Leopard Mask. And right now, again, individual action here.
Cheetah Kid, Sal.
I know who that is. I said he had a tag team combination of the Cheetah Kid and Leopard
They
Mask.
both have the same exact mask. How can you tell them it's different?
I can tell them apart, Mr. Rummel. It's called intelligence, something you wouldn't understand. Look it up in a dictionary. Right now, the Cheetah Kid, and I'll tell you, he's something exciting to watch. But in the meantime, you see...
You ever seen him wrestle, Sal?
Yes, I have. He's a high-flying, quick-moving man. And I'll tell you...
He's a jerk.
Doug Gilbert will have all he can handle. But again, outside the ring, probably more important is Dennis Condrey outside the ring along with Paul E. Dangerously. That's the scary part. Back inside the ring, again, Doug Gilbert in individual action against the Cheetah Kid. Filippo, his manager on the outside.
That martial arts stuff, Sal.
What martial arts stuff? Doug Gilbert right now with a look of fear on his face, and he crawls through the ropes.
He's signed for a wrestler that's not a karate exhibition.
And now Paul E. Dangerously sticks his big mouth into it.
Kid turn right around. You know, you don't see him do anything good. It just...
I'll tell you, this Cheetah Kid is some sharp-looking talent. He's quick, he's fast.
You know, ugly, he must be to wear a mask, Sal. Even you don't wear a mask.
I don't wear a neck brace that I don't need either, but that's another story.
I was hurt.
Yeah,
I'm some geeky old lady.
Yeah, I'm sure, Mr. Rumble. Right now, Doug Gilbert resorting to the tactics that have made him half of the ICW Tag Team Championship. He flings the Cheetah Kid down into the canvas. And again, he comes over to look for some high fives. I think he may be a little premature in his victory celebration.
Well, you know, you're not as stupid as you look. You might be right on that one. But, hey, he's probably real confident. You got Paulie in the corner. You got the lover boy in the corner. And all the Cheetah Kid can do is count.
Don't forget that the Cheetah Kid has fabulous Filippo in his corner.
I'm counting that against him also.
And now the Cheetah Kid putting the big shoulder into the midsection of Doug Gilbert. Puts him across the ring into the turnbuckle. Big elbow. And Doug Gilbert is on his back, and he is in some trouble. Rolls him over. Comes off the rope. Comes out the move. Big move with the elbow
Right
down
to the
across
throat.
the throat.
Right, that's illegal. I'm glad you said that now. And you see how he waited for you to say throat? Once he went across the throat, that's illegal.
Hey, he went for the neck, and all of a sudden Doug Gilbert, not necessarily. Nonetheless, the big crowd here at Dutch's Resort very much behind the Cheetah Kid. And the Cheetah Kid now waiting as, again, Doug Gilbert has to confer with Dennis Condrey and with Paul E. Dangerously. You know, I don't know why he goes outside to refer or confer with those three, because the three of them together haven't got enough brains to come in out of the ring.
It's a little 4-1-1, Sal, something you don't know nothing about.
It would take them, they could write all they know on a single sentence, the three of them. So I don't know what kind of advice Gilbert is getting from the outside.
More than Mike Tyson got from his corner, I'll tell you right now, Sal.
Right now, the Cheetah Kid puts Gilbert face first into the turnbuckles, and Gilbert is in some serious pain.
How do you know he could be playing possum?
I don't think so, Mr. Russell.
Tennessee, you know, they eat possum down there. He
We'll
knows how to
see.
act.
Right now, the Cheetah Kid looks to me like it is possum he's playing with. As he goes, there's a big
What can I tell you?
section.
Boy, Sal, you should just hang with me. You never go for those extra money you spend on the road all the time.
Hang with you. Boy, what a scary thought that is.
Hanging tough, baby.
The Cheetah Kid now down to one knee as Doug Gilbert fights his way back. Hey, Gilbert's a tough customer. I will give credit where credit is
Oh,
due.
thank you for bringing that to our attention.
He would not be one half of the ICW Tag Team Championship if he were not a tough customer.
What is that saying? Brilliant deduction now. I mean, the guy's tag team champion of the world.
I don't look at the roll up. 1, 2.
I don't see any roll up.
You saw a count of 2 is what I saw very quickly. Cheetah Kid almost pulling off the victory.
Almost pulling off the trunk. He pulled him so high.
And right now, Fabulous Filippo complaining to the referee. As again, you see Paulie dangerously kick off to the side.
You know that? He's really aggravating at him, Paulie.
Gilbert thrown into now. They're going to play some crisscross. They'll be in the middle sometime. Oh, look at this. Condrey trips up the leopard. Cheetah Kid, come on. And here comes Apollo with a chair.
Oh, now that's real fair.
Phil Apollo off to our left comes off with a chair, and he chases both Condrey. And now we got a, almost a bit in the, do we have, no, a bit of count of 2.
I think that was a pinball.
Action going all over as Fabulous Phil Apollo chases dangerously, and Dennis Condrey back to the dressing room.
Yeah, I could have swore he had a 3 count.
No, I saw 2 count, and so did you.
Well,
The
that clear is hitting the monitor, you know. It's like not really clear for me. Maybe if you turn the darkness down a little on the monitor, I'd be able to see it.
Those comments don't even take a comment back from you, Mr. Rumble, after what we saw last week with you and T.T. Cornscreen, your Undertaker. You're despicable and disgusting, and the only reason I work with you is because I have a contract that says I must, and you know it.
Hey, Sal, I've seen some of the geeks you've been working with lately. I'm a pleasure cruise compared to them.
Well, one in particular,
I've seen Apollo sitting at a desk that I used
that was the best co-host I've had in the last month between you and Dangerously.
That was the best segment you ever had when he got whacked over the head with the old Bell phone.
Should have been a good time to retire. Right now you see Doug Gilbert in the ring, and he is putting a neck brace and twist on.
That's not a neck brace, that's a neck twist.
Sitting next to you, a neck brace comes to mind for some reason.
I don't know why. Maybe it's honesty is who you should. Stop sneezing, Doc.
Right now, Doug Gilbert.
Are you allergic?
Smiling, yeah, probably to you. Doug Gilbert having his way with the cheated kid.
Here comes a big stand of snap suplex, I should say, Bobby D. Perfectly executed. Look at that pin.
Here comes the cover. 1, 2. No, he didn't get it.
I think he did it again, though.
No, he didn't get it. He got a count of 2. The referee puts his hands up quite obviously.
Give an inaccurate analysis here, Doc, because you clear your head is bothering the monitor.
Fabulous Phil Apollo off on the sidelines trying to help his newest protege, the cheetah kid.
Now, where did he find him? At some tree in Africa? Where did he find him?
You're supposed to be the genius behind the scenes that knows where everybody comes from.
I'm not into cats.
What
I'm into rats.
The cheetah kid and the leopard mask, probably the most exciting new tag team combination to come along in pro wrestling in a long, long time. Look at these body press. There's the cover. 1, 2, 3. No, we got the cover.
Stop being anticipated.
A little slow count on the part of the official, I thought.
Oh, yeah, a minute ago it was a fast count. Now it's a slow count. It ain't the song, it's the singer, Dow. Remember that.
Again, leopard mask thrown across the ring, hits the rope, comes back. Oh, look, as Gilbert tried to pull the roll, and look at this move.
Power slide.
And here again comes Andre dangerously. Look at this going into the ring. This is sick. This is sick. Here comes Apollo in the ring. Dangerously's in the ring.
What's Apollo going in there now for?
And there comes the telephone over the side, and now the leopard mask.
The place is going.
Cheetah kid out there, and it's getting all of confusion. Here comes leopard mask from behind us. He's into the ring. Leopard mask.
What's he doing here now?
Well, they're chasing Paulie dangerously, Dennis Condrey, out of the ring.
Hey, Sal, these three guys together. Look at them. What are they all doing? There's a conspiracy here. Look at the post. What's he doing up there?
First of all, it was an individual match, and dangerously, and his partner Condrey come in, create the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners you see in the ring right now, the Cheetah Kid victorious here on International Championship Wrestling. We'll be back with more.
ICW, I mean, the Cheetah Kid, the Leopard Mask, Paulie Dangerously, Phil Apollo, the Lethal Weapons.
You're going to see the end of that for a while. Them brothers don't like each other.
I have a feeling
they ain't like each other, Dal. I'm going to tell you, I can tell. You see, I can tell, things of people.
You can tell when people hate people?
Yeah.
You must sense that all the time.
It seems like I can feel that tension all the time.
Yeah, I bet you can. Anybody you come in contact with gives you that feeling that they don't like you, Mr. Rumble. I can understand that. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
You don't like me?
No.
Again, what you see coming down the aisle now. I do. They call him the Tasmanian Devil, and he is so popular with every youngster we have seen.
Does he run out of paint?
Oh, you are subhuman, Mr. Rumble. The Tasmanian Devil, look at him. He is just a whirlwind, a ball of fire. And Sonny Blaze just got out of the ring, and the Tasmanian Devil, I'll tell you, he is just one bundle of energy, Mr. Rumble.
Say it like it is, Sal. Look at that tattoo on his foot.
The Tasmanian Devil, a man who just does not stop. But I'll tell you, he is a man that is not only fun to watch, but he is dangerous in that ring.
Now, this is the guy's ICW debut. How can you tell me he's fun to watch? All you see him was run around the ring like an idiot.
I thought that was fun to watch. And it may be his ICW debut, but we've talked to the Tasmanian Devil. We've talked to some of the people who watched him in training, and they say this man has got all... And look at Blaze doing. Sonny Blaze is looking for it.
Blaze is an idiot, too. Joe, I don't even know what they're doing out here. Let me tell you about this Tasmanian Devil. He's trying to make a mockery of the sport. Look at him. He run out of paint.
The Tasmanian Devil so quick, he had Sonny Blaze looking for him, and he wasn't even there.
Blaze is a New York City kid. He might not have the greatest win-loss record in the world, but he's going to put a hurt on this idiot.
I don't think so.
I used to have an uncle my cousin used to call the Tasmanian Devil.
Here he comes, the Tasmanian Blaze looking for him again. Devil with the big press. Here comes the cover. 1, 2. And the kick out by Blaze.
You're going to beat a kid from the streets like that, Dow, even if they are the New York streets.
The Tasmanian Devil, brand new here on the ICW, but you'll be seeing lots of him in the next few weeks. And I'll tell you, he is some tough customer. But speed, I have never seen the kind of speed that you see in this Tasmanian Devil.
But you must have saw when I was out there a few different times, now. I'm fast as lightning, baby.
I'm not talking about your mouth. I'm talking about in the wrestling and the ability to throw the moves that this Tasmanian Devil does.
Picky.
There's the big clothesline and plays hits the canvas again.
Hey, this Tasmanian Devil, take away the paint, take away all the goofiness. He looks like an asshole. There you go, right in the eyes. Hey, you look at these little idiot fans out there long enough. They're going to get his feet.
Right now, plays.
He just, what was that, a Tasmanian drop or something? What did he call that?
Almost a Tasmanian backbreaker, if you want to call it. There's the cover of 2, doesn't get the 3.
Whoa, that was pitching.
To the
He's going out.
There he comes up to the rope, and this guy is a high flyer without a doubt.
Here comes a little 4-1-1 your
Up
way.
he goes, the Tasmanian Devil, high to the rope.
This is called the jungle drop.
There, 1, 2, 3, it's all over.
The jungle drop. You get that down. Look at him, he's punching foot.
The Tasmanian, maybe he's hungry. No, he's probably hungry. Tasmanian Devil, victorious here on his ICW debut.
The Tasmanian Devil, Mr. Rumble, something you don't have except in your mouth.
Wait a minute.
That's
I got an uncle that my cousins used to call the Tasmanian Devil. They're probably like laughing about, but that ain't him. That ain't my uncle.
No, I can believe that. The only thing that you and the
probably keep him
Tasmanian
up.
Devil have, you do have one thing in common, and that's quickness, though, Mr. Rumble. He's very quick on his feet.
Yeah, I
very
think we
quick
got to
with
go to a
his.
commercial. Let's not try to be fun.
We got no commercial coming up. Right now, a good friend of mine that's very ably filled in a lot while you've been gone somewhere, and that's the Diamond District with Diamond Jim Brady, my good friend from Waco, Texas. He's doing an interview now with someone I'm not too fond about, and Diamond Jim will have to watch out he don't get nailed with some pineapple. Here's the Diamond District with his guest, the Hawaiian Hurricane.
All right.
You're backstage with Diamond Jim Brady at Kutcher's Resort in the Catskills, New York. That's right. And right now, we got the Hurricane with us. And he's got a big problem with Vic Steamboat. What do you got to say about that, Hurricane?
There's no problem, Vic Steamboat. I'm going to beat you like a dog, and I'm going to show just everyone who the king of the islands really is. GQ Madison, you're done. Brandy, you can't even walk. Steamboat, you better hope for something a little bit less than what I gave those guys. Because you see this? It's for you, brother. It's for you.
Well, as you saw earlier, ladies and gentlemen, the activity that happened between the Cheetah Kid and Phil Apollo and Doug Gilbert and the Lethal Weapons and Fall Dangerously, as you said, I would use the word wisely, but more like luck. Obviously quite a problem, and that is the fact that these 4 or 6 people don't like each other. They have signed next week. There will be a tag team championship next week. The Lethal Weapons against the Cheetah Kid and Leopard Man.
And if Atlas beats the Roadblock, he fights Anita.
Next week. Double championship match next week.
Guarantee a double main event next week, but let's go to Atlas, right?
Hey, no, first we're going to talk to fabulous Phil Apollo, Cheetah Kid, and Leopard Mask and find out exactly what they think about their main tag team championship match coming up next week on the ICW.
Paulie Dangerously, in all my years, I don't believe I had a better time than knocking you down and watching my team of Cheetah Kid and the Leopard Mask take the Lethal Weapons down. We've done it 1-on-1. We did it 2-on-2. Paulie, you want to stick your nose in? We took care of you 3-on-3, man. We've proven ourselves. Now, next week, we get the opportunity to finish the mission, to complete our destiny of being the World Tag Team Champions. Cheetah Kid, brother, you were amazing, man. You were all over that ring. Tell me how it felt, Daddy.
Oh, it was the most wonderful feeling for Paulie Dangerously in the jungle where I come from. We step on snakes, brother. It's all over for you and your team, the Lethal Weapons. It's the glory's over. We got the counters, and the counters to the counters to the counters. And Phil, with you in our corner, I don't see any way that we cannot succeed.
Leopard Mask. Oh, you know that cats of Africa are predatory animals. And we have our eyes set. Our senses are keen.
Yeah.
We know our prey.
Yes, we do.
We know the prey, the lethal weapon. And we have our eyes set on them. Our claws are out. The end is near.
Lethal Weapons and Paulie Dangerously. Next week, The party's over, boys. It's time for you to relinquish the top spot. It's time for you to step off that mountain and rightfully relinquish it to the World Tag Team Champions. Cheetah Kid, Leopard Mask, Fabulous Phil. We won't be denied this time.
Making his way into the ring right now, ladies and gentlemen, you see it, 6'3", 309, or 6'11", I should say, 395 pounds. A man that beat Foreman last week here on the ICW. I'm talking about the Roadblock. The Roadblock, a man that has never been on the canvas since he's been in the ICW.
He's been in the ring with the Brotherhood, and he's going to happen right here. What a bet for down. I know Pete Rose, I get you down a little. I'll bet he goes down in this match.
We shall see. The Roadblock.
How much you want to bet?
6'11".
I'll tell you what, I'll buy you a toupee.
I tell you to put your money
take
where...
a 2-week vacation.
I would tell you to put your money where your mouth is, but there's not enough money in Fort Knox to put it where your mouth is. The Roadblock in the ring right now, and ladies and gentlemen, you see making his way down the aisle, the ICW heavyweight champion. That, of course, is Tony Atlas.
That's the man. That's the man.
And again, Atlas with his talk and his... One thing I will say about Atlas, so far, he has been able to back up what he has said. This may be his toughest opponent in a long time. Where are you going?
Hey, it's on an economic basis, and you don't...
Rumble, you're supposed to be working here with me. Where are you going? Tony Rumble making his way away from the broadcast booth here. I have no idea where he's going. Quite honestly, I guess I don't care. Tony Atlas set to square off against the Roadblock here. And this is for the tag team, or rather for the heavyweight championship title. And Tony Rumble has made his way over to ringside. I don't know what he's doing over there, what he wants, but he has made his way over to ringside, and he's screaming and hollering at the Roadblock, as you can see, or I guess you can't see on your monitors right now, ladies and gentlemen, but just behind the Roadblock is Tony Rumble. And right now, Atlas and Roadblock squaring off. And now Rumble turns around to go over, and the Roadblock is over. And look out! Here comes Atlas over the shoulders and over the head of the Roadblock. As Rumble gets involved, Atlas, 1, 2, 3, it's all over. Disgusting, despicable, unbelievable. Rumble putting his nose...
That happened so quick, I missed it. What happened, Bob?
Rumble, you put your nose where it doesn't belong. This is sickening.
What?
It's terrible.
What's the matter? I had to tell him he had a phone call.
Tony Atlas, again, a champion that doesn't deserve to be a champion. The Roadblock down to the canvas for the first time in his career, and only with the help of Tony Rumble. It's sickening. Ladies and gentlemen, that about does it all the time we have for this hour here on International Championship Wrestling.
Hey, I was right, wasn't I down?
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, what a show we have for you. We have got a double championship match next week, ladies and gentlemen, on the ICW.
Hey,
you will see the Lethal Weapons against the Cheetah Kid and Leopard Mask.
And Atlas against that chap that thinks he's a champion.
The champion, Tony Atlas, against the Japanese champion, the Frontier Martial Arts champion.
He can open his eyes up, aren't we?
Odisa. We'll be back with more, ladies and gentlemen, next week. Hope you'll join us then.
See you then.
Bye.
If you're looking for Parsippany, New Jersey, 07054, or call 201-887-2698. That's 201-887-2698. The ICW. It's the hottest promotion of the 1990s.
I don't know how much more despicable this man can run. He cost Roadblock even a fair match against Atlas. Look what you did to Ray Odyssey. This is sickening, Mr. Rumble. You're a sick person.
I'm just being bad.
More next week, and hopefully we can... We got rid of Dangerously. Maybe we can get rid of this guy for next week. This is sickening. We'll see you again next week right here on International Championship.
Jack.
Exciting hour of International Championship Wrestling. A big hour with lots of action coming up for you this hour. But before we even get into what's happening this hour, Obviously, you can see Chicken Little has returned from his escapades of a week ago against Ray Odyssey. And we'll let you know, obviously, that he is back as co-host of the show. It got from bad to worse, I guess. Paulie dangerously to...
Look, don't be dropping names, Dal. Listen up, hey. Like, I ain't got nothing better to do than hang out with Vol.2, the man that got the widest part in anybody's haircut ever in the whole century of mankind. Every time people think of haircuts, you got the best one. But anyway, Dal, hey, listen up. I left. I was on tour, internationally famous star that I am. They're getting dolls of me now, Dal. Check them out. I mean, any local goofy store. Hey, I left here, and not only did I leave, you know, I had my qualms about leaving you. I didn't know if you could handle it. So I set it up. I got you somebody, not only is he an excellent talker, as far as commentating and everything else, but the guy has managerial skills far above anybody else in the world. He's had champions everywhere he's been.
You're talking about Paulie Dangerously.
Of course I'm talking about Paulie Dangerously. I bring him in here, and he comes in to take my place. Hey, I wasn't even doing Danger Zone, but no, you bring in that nitwit Diamond District guy, Jim, what's his name, Brady?
That's his man.
That nitwit, you're trying to lose ratings now? What was going through your mind? Now you're getting a big argument because you ain't got your coffee, you ain't got your Danish, you ain't got your donuts. What's the deal, Dal, huh? We got to try to run a great product here for the rest of the world to see, and you're all bumming people out because you can't handle who's sitting next to you. You have to have me back.
Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, he does not want to discuss what happened last week with Ray Odyssey.
Oh, my heroics? Did you see how injured and everything's out? Injured. I am on my deathbed going in and performing. I agree. I appreciate that one.
The Big Mouth from Boston back with us for another hour here on International Championship Wrestling. As we get into the show, the main event today, Tony Atlas gets a shot, or I should say just the reverse, the roadblock. A man you saw earlier in the Open today who took on 4 opponents last week. Whoa. Today gets a title shot.
Whoa, impress me some more, John. I bet you don't win today.
Oh, yeah, your loyalties go a long way.
I have a little inside knowledge of this one, Dal. I wouldn't be too sure about the roadblock.
More importantly, what does Tony Atlas think? Well, let's find out.
He's going to kick his butt.
Roadblock. Tonight is your night of defeat. Tonight is your night to meet the man. Tonight is your night to get whooped like you never got whooped before. Tonight is your night. Once again, you're going to meet the man. You ain't going to meet no imitation. You're going to meet the real deal, son. And don't make me no never man how I come out of there. As long as I come out of there with the gold. You have no idea what it takes to be a champion. You have no idea what it took to get here. Sure, you're a big kid. You 375 pounds, you 6'9". And you just got through whooping 4 men at one time. But tonight, son, is your night to learn respect. Tonight is your night to learn what it means to be in the ring with me. Now, all you out there say, Atlas, what make you so big and bad? What make you think you so tough? I got the gold, son. Everybody else that come out here just got a lot of mouth. Because I got the gold. This shows what I'm all about. So no matter what nobody else tell you, you just take a look at who wearing the strap. And that'll tell you who the man is. I am the man.
Well, look who we have now here in the ICW. Another ICW debut of Mr. Rumble. And this gentleman's name goes...
This is Joe Cool. I've been here a long time, Joe.
Well, we can call you the Boston Bad Breath. That Joe Cool you see on your screen, the blonde-haired young man from out of the West Coast area somewhere. And he is going to be going against Mr. Ed Phillips right now. Conrad Phillips, all right.
Cornbread, not Conrad.
All right, Cornbread Phillips. And Joe Cool right now doing... Yes, he is. He's doing a job on Mr. Phillips early.
What did you expect here in the ICW?
His debut on the ICW.
Take care of business, so he's going to be on his back real quick.
Joe Cool.
Now, that's a favorite hold of mine, Bob.
You don't know what a favorite. The only hold that you know how to make is a hold when you hold your telephone and shoot your mouth off with somebody.
Oh, yeah. At least I'm not calling those 900 dial sex numbers you called, though.
Cornbread Phillips down quickly as Joe Cruel right now in the ring. And he is making his ICW debut and doing quite a job of it right now. as he spreads the legs like a chicken wing and big headbutt down into the midsection, it looked like to me.
I'd say it was a little lower than that now. Again.
Well,
I don't know why the referee...
maybe it was.
Cruel,
the name would fit with a move like that.
You know, I still don't really like him.
Joe Cruel smashes
I don't like
Corbett.
those trunks. He's kind of wimpy looking in them trunks. He might be a tough guy and everything.
Well, you want to be careful who you call wimpy with the ability that you have to back anything up, Mr.
I'm a
Rumble.
well-oiled machine.
Yeah, we noticed that last week when you were here against Mr. Ray Odyssey, who you and your Undertakers and TT Crunch
That was 2 weeks ago.
it was not 2 weeks ago. Last week. We understand what it was.
Last week. It might not even be till next
All right, 2
week. Why
weeks
don't you
ago.
just get your stuff straight now?
All we know is that Ray Odyssey is in a hurt scenario.
Hey, he's laid out. They carried him out. We popped over not only his neck, his shoulder. Everything's wrong with Ray Odyssey.
Well, it should be when you get TT
Hey,
Crunch,
right.
the
When you mess
Undertakers,
with the
everybody else.
brotherhood, when you mess with the brotherhood, you go down.
4 against 1.
And this
Some
is the
big,
Cruel.
bad, brave brother.
That's right. But let's look at Cruel. Let's not overlook what Cruel's doing to Andre Phillips here. He's beating him like a dog.
Count of 2. Didn't get the cover.
But Phillips is an athlete. You can see that also. So it's not like Cruel's just beating up some schmuck. You know what a schmuck is, don't you, Dal? I learned that word while I was up here in Cushioners.
Yeah, I think it goes right in front of Tony Ryan.
People kept calling, saying that. I don't know what it was all week. I
Kept calling you a schmuck?
No, I just kept hearing it going as I was walking
I
around.
can't believe that. Now the chokehold being applied by Joe Cruel
Beautifully
in the center
applied.
of the ring.
That was very well applied, too, Bob Dow. As you see, he had the Adam's apple in the palm of his hand. That was the way you're supposed to do it.
Cornbread Phillips in some trouble right now.
You know, the way he had that Adam's apple and the way the Hawaiian Hurricane has the pineapple, hey, he might have a fruit drink.
There's the cover. It's
And
all over.
1, 2, 3.
ICW debuts a successful one for Joe Cruel.
Venue of success here, Dow.
And Cruel doesn't even want to get his arms raised, and he gives the thumbs up side of Mr. Rumble, so you can tell that Mr. Cruel with some talent, but
What did you
maybe
expect?
not a whole lot between the ears, obviously. He's a
Probably
friend of
seen me.
yours.
That's why he came to the ICW. You probably seen me hanging out.
Yeah, back with more here on the ICW, ladies and gentlemen. So Joe Cruel makes his ICW debut. We've got to talk now with Mr. Brandy, ladies, so turn up your television. Mr. Tom Chippendale Brandy's up next right here on the ICW.
The stripper?
Coming up next, Hawaiian Hurricane. Oh, yeah, that's right. You can take all the pot shots you want of me, because that's right, I'm down, I'm in the dirt. But no, you got to face this man, GQ Madison. Tell him, baby.
That's right, Hurricane. I was there tonight. You hurt my man, Mr. Chippendale Brandy. I still can't believe what you did to him. A fine young man, a fine wrestler. Tonight, it's payback time.
That's right.
In Japan, a favorite delicacy is fish, but you can't cut it like this. That's why we use the bonsai. The
1-800-334-4999. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the latest feuds that have erupted here in the ICW takes place with a couple of people that are both from a happy island, that to be our island of Hawaii. But last week you saw here on International Championship Wrestling the Hawaiian Hurricane, and he obviously has a problem
happy about that Hawaiian Hurricane.
has a problem with Victor Steamboat.
There's something wrong with the happy Hawaiian, but not with the Hurricane.
Well, I don't know what the problem is, but obviously it started last week. As a matter of fact, if you missed last week, watch what happened as we had a ringside interview with Victor Steamboat.
Wrestling fans, as you see with me now, Victor Steamboat, former half of the SNS Express, the half of the new dynamic duo. Victor, I guess the big question to ask this week on ICW, we see the Hawaiian Hurricane, who also, you being from the island, makes his way into the ICW. No secret, he's making it known to Bill Apter, to wrestling news throughout the world, that you two at one time are going to be partners. Now he just kind of seems to hate you, quite honestly, Vic. You and him don't seem to be getting along too well.
Well, for one thing, our families have never seen eye to eye. But the Hawaiian Hurricane, a few months ago, I came up to and approached him to be a tag team partner because of what happened to Joe and the way things been going with Phil and I. You know, I was looking for a homeboy. Hawaiian Hurricane, you came out here and talking big words. You're going to beat this, beat that, and put people out of wrestling. Well, let me tell you, son, you have no reason to call you a true Hawaiian because there's no Hawaiian around.
Victor Steamboat, ladies and gentlemen, off camera, you see the Hawaiian Hurricane making his way into our interview here for absolutely no reason. And I'm not sure what this is all about.
Let me say one thing, Steamboat. You had a chance to team with me to be the best tag team in the world, but you turned it down. I think it's the other way around. You couldn't face up to the fact all these years, my side of the family has always been on top. And why can't you ever face that?
You know, you see this right here? I don't need this. I don't need these people. I got wrestling talent. So that's one thing. But this place is going wild. The hurricane, the Hawaiian hurricane. He's tearing it up. Check this out, dude. Awesome. What's Steve-O doing in here? Who knows? What's going on? What's going on? Steve-O's backdrop. Unbelievable. Oh, my God. What's Steve-O doing in here?
You know,
now, where have you been? I'll get coffee again.
You know what Victor Steamboat is doing out there. That's what Victor Steamboat, he's had enough of this Hawaiian hurricane in his big mouth.
Oh,
and
shut up, Doc. Oh, your propaganda. You saw what happened when you started propaganda before. You just laid them out last week, Dow.
Yeah, what happened? What happened is the fact very simple that Vic Steamboat is trying to say, and rightfully so, this man is a good wrestler. He offered the Hawaiian Hurricane an opportunity to join him. But what does the Hawaiian Hurricane do with his tactics, with his ethics?
Look at Brandy. Look at Brandy on the stick. He's breathing in pain. I love it. He deserves it. That's what you get, Brandy. This ain't Chippendales. Remember that, sucker.
Tom Brandy hurt, as you can see, very much. So GQ Madison and Victor Steamboat comes up to help. And again, this Hawaiian Hurricane and Victor Steamboat, they met in a little tussle last week, as you saw Victor Steamboat be smashed with a pineapple.
Well, I didn't
they
see
meet
that,
again this week.
Last week.
Yeah, you were hurt, all right, you
I
big
was
coward.
And, coward?
But I'll tell you, yeah, you heard just what I said.
How
You will see that Victor Steamboat and this Hawaiian Hurricane soon, they are coming.
That. He's a whip.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, a sick situation here in the ICW with the Hawaiian Hurricane.
It's a sick world, and I'm a happy guy.
Well, I'll tell you that. It's getting messy just hanging around.
Thirsty, don't it?
Thirsty, hey?
Hey, I like pineapple juice.
You know, Victor Steamboat, a young man, obviously a gentleman from Hawaii. You didn't see him coming over cracking everybody's heads with these pineapples.
Hey, smart enough to think of something that cool. Hey, that hurricane ain't nobody's fool. I'm going to tell you right now, Dow. Hey, the guy is on a mission, and his mission is to eliminate Victor Steamboat from the
instead of a pineapple crack, wouldn't you like to see this right here?
We'll get a lot better.
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We've got some more action here this hour on the International Championship Wrestling. We'll be back with more of it right after these messages.